we try this again. What's going on, beautiful people? My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show. For some reason, the sound wasn't playing all the way. Gotta send a couple shots to Big Papa. We back in there. Let's get into it. This is episode 501. I am your host, Kasabian, with talent on loan from God. I always do that because of my mentor, the one and only, the son of... Oh, I ain't even put the applause in on this one. See, y'all, I was rushing because we just came on like 3 minutes ago. And for some reason, the sound was just completely out. And I would not feel comfortable starting the show without playing a song. It just feels weird. Show folder, please. I need my claps. The applause, please. Thank you, sir. It's very good. It's very good. Very nice. Very good. Very nice. Very good. Can I not do that? Why not? Porque I speak Spanish, yo puedo hacer eso. ¿Qué te pasa? Don't talking to me like that, manito. Así no me dice. Pero what you mean que tú quieres un Jack Charger? Deja eso. Alright, so can we try this again? Alright, welcome back to the show. This is episode 501. We are live from Las Vegas, and I don't think we've ever played this song, and if we have, we don't play it enough. So I thought it was going to be cool, and then it just didn't work. So let's try it again. Book him, Dano.
I just wanna hit the city, pop a bottle ditty. Who's coming with me? I'm trying to blow it all, make it right.
I might
back.
have to blur
and
that.
I ain't sweating that, so tell the DJ bring it back. When she hit the stage, my mind frame changed. The way she move will have you stuck too. Don't get it confused. There was something about her, man, I had to meet her. The flashing lights in these bottles got me feeling right. I asked, can you be my senorita just for one night? We could take the next thing flying. Hit the island, now we styling. Spend the night on the Amalfi Coast. Show you what you're worth for well time spent. To fall in love, let's make a toast. I wanna do the most. Take your breath away, hold you close. Make you warm when you're cold, and if you're hot, make you hot.
It's Kasabian.
Chilling in the water. I'm living in the moment.
Kasabian Lavoe
I just wanna
What's going on, beautiful
I wanna
people?
hold on to right now.
I don't even know.
Right
Did it fade out? I'm living in the mountain. And then you cut it abrupt. I swear I haven't heard it on here. Oh, I think I did play it. My bad. Whatever. Welcome to 501. My name is Kasabian Lavoe. ChatGPT writes the intro. We do the show. We got a lot of topics to get into. Last night was wild with the BET Awards. Now, I can't sit here and lie and say that I watched the awards. I didn't. Wasn't even aware. To be completely frank, it feels like the BET Awards were like just talked about on Instagram, because honestly it's the only place that I think anybody's seen it. I don't know. I have every streaming platform you could imagine except BET Plus, because not enough content for the price, and I'm not going to pay that fee to just watch the BET Awards. And there's no marketing. Y'all marketing is very, very weak. But let's get into today's show. ChatGPT did write the intro. Welcome back to the Kasabian Lavoe Show, your ultimate source in the hottest stories and breaking news. Today we mourn the loss of Crazy Town's lead singer, Shifty Shellshock. If you didn't see Shifty, he was actually in recovery because, I mean, he was battling with drug addiction, but he was doing well. Unfortunately, sometimes that takes over. And I mean, when it comes to artists, this is a commonplace for artists, unfortunately. Rest in peace to him. In sports, Klay Thompson is making waves because he's moving to Las Vegas. That's right. Klay Thompson is going to the Las Vegas Mavericks. If you didn't know, the Mavericks are in Dallas, but they're owned by the family that owns the Venetian. The Adelson family purchased them. So they're actually the Las Vegas Mavericks, and that's what we're going to call them from here on out. Rick Ross finds himself in hot water after a fight in Toronto. While the BET Awards brought all the drama and glamour, why'd they do it like that? Why ChatGPT write it that way? We'll also be tracking Hurricane. Is it Beryl? What's the hurricane's name? It's Beryl, ¿verdad? Hurricane Beryl. It's packing winds of up to 150 miles an hour. This is very scary. Plus, Ray J's unexpected clash with the Zeus CEO, Lemmy. I didn't want to say Lemmys. I don't think people know Lemmy. Donald Trump's immunity saga. Now, this is interesting. We'll definitely dive in and see what that's about. The epic showdown between GameStop and Roaring Kitty. And finally, what happened to Jamie Foxx? Well, he popped up this weekend and he was talking to some people in public about his episode, and I would like to get into it. Stay tuned as we dive deep into all these stories and more. Now, I completely was just not even aware of the BET Awards. Maybe because the marketing is just not bueno. What is going on? Saw clips. Usher's speech was cut. Excuse me. Oh, I got agita. I had meatloaf. Usher's speech was cut short or muted because he was saying something. People misunderstood him when he said that Swiss Beats, his ex-wife, and Alicia Keys stayed together for their kids. Not that Alicia Keys is his ex-wife, you weirdos. I don't know why people took that from that. Usher looked like he had a great speech. It's always good to see people get their flowers. I can't say anything negative about Usher getting his flowers. Now, the more interesting thing was Rick Ross getting punched right in his shit. We'll get into that in a minute. I know that doesn't have much to do with what happened at the BET Awards, but it's a big, big deal only because them Toronto boys really came outside. They really came outside. Let's talk about it. The BET Awards were great as usual. Let's just keep it at that. I'm not even going to really get into it because I ain't watched it, so we'll just leave it at it looked good. Childish Gambino had a great point. I like Childish Gambino the older I get. Let me tell you now, when we were younger and I was watching him do his thing, I didn't get it. And I'm sorry. I wasn't open-minded. As a child, coming from the ghetto and living in poverty, we're very closed-minded to certain things because I grew up around all types of people. So it wasn't my closed-mindedness towards human beings. It was my closed-mindedness to others' creativity that I didn't understand because it wasn't a people thing. I get Childish Gambino as a person. I appreciate him as a person. I didn't appreciate his art. Like, I never forget that line that I get in my Fisker and he goes, vroom, and he goes, no, the Fisker is gas. It don't make no noise. Or the Fisker's gas. You see, I be doing that stupid shit where I think I'm going to make a point, but my brain, it fumbles. The Fisker's electric, so it don't make no noise. But that was his bar. And it made me pay attention to him. And then he did Atlanta. Didn't get Atlanta. Still haven't watched it. But again, I appreciate what he does. Shout out to Childish Gambino. I love his last song that he just put out. I think that was dope. I really, I've been trying to do a song with Smokey. So I have an uncle whose ex-wife, because they divorced, he married my aunt. He left his ex-wife, who's Smokey Robinson's niece. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. He left her and got with my aunt, who's just my aunt. I wasn't that famous. He fucked up. He should have stayed with the other rich family. But anyway, Smokey has a song that's lum-dee-lum-dee-lie, lum-dee-lum-dee-low. I always wanted to flip it, and then hearing Childish Gambino do his song, that that it reminds me of that. But anyway, my uncle's wild, bro. He used to deliver Nabisco cookies, and apparently he just go on his route and just crack. All right, I'm sorry. Let's just we'll get into these topics. There's so much. There's just so much. Boxing is in a weird space as well. Let's talk about fighting. We'll get into fighting because I definitely first off, UFC 303 went down. Conor McGregor canceled. We didn't get to see Conor and Chandler fight, but what we did see is Alex Pereira. This dude is probably one of the fastest growing stars in the UFC, and to be completely frank, he's going to be out sooner than later. Not in a bad way. Like, I think Alex got a solid year and a half, but as a UFC and a fight fan, if you've been watching it since you were knee-high to some fat dudes, no, I don't even want to go into that. But anyway, we started watching UFC back in like 2004 or 2003. Like, that's when we started getting into mixed martial arts and all that, and we thought it was the craziest thing ever to watch UFC where it's gotten today. Dana, to watch, I mean, bro, that building stands out. The UFC, the Apex, that's so dope. $120 million building that he built for himself just as a playland. UFC is a global phenomenon that's basically in our backyard, and we run into these fighters all the time. I see Forrest all the time. There's a bunch of dudes that train. The gym is not that far from where we stay, so you run into a lot of fighters. Those dudes are big as shit. They're not little, and they're all just like super dope. Now, 303 would have been a great show to cover if Conor came out. But nonetheless, what a great show. Like, honestly, watching Pereira come out and do what he does, isn't for the faint of heart because he's so technical. I think it's just because of his years of fighting. He's so technical that you don't even understand his process of his elimination. His coach saw a clip on TikTok or Instagram of his competitor training, and that clip was what led to them saying we should throw a head kick because he puts his hands down when he goes to block a kick. Instagram clip before the fight, minutes before the fight, they literally said, hey, look at this. He's not doing that right. One, don't post your stupid, shitty training videos. Nobody wants to watch it. Your competition is watching everything you do. So that was a bad move. Two, Alex is probably more deadly at this weight than he is at that 175. I don't think he does well when he's skinny, but they said he wants to go back down and go fight Adesanya. I want to see him go up and fight all the heavyweights. That'll be dope. UFC's coming into a weird maturation where all of our stars are just older now and they're fading away. Let's see what comes next. I'm kind of excited to see these new kids. The evolution of fighting is crazy. It's terrifying. You have to be worried. There's a video of a drunk lady leaning on somebody's truck. The person that she was leaning on, talking shit to, was a UFC fighter. And she was like, I'll kick your ass, fool. And she was like, I would love to see you try, sweetheart. She was like, oh, yeah, you think you're tough? And I was like, oh, my God, she's going to fuck you up. But anyway, UFC fighters are everywhere. Shout out to Dana. Shout out to UFC. But it's a sad time. A lot of our favorite fighters are retiring, and a lot of our favorite fighters have faded away. Shout out to the ones that came and the ones that went. I think Timo fought this weekend. That was good. Outside of that, I don't think anything else happened in boxing. Oh, did Joshua knock out that dude? Did he fight him yet? They didn't fight yet. Did they fight? No, they fight. Not yet. I want to watch the Anthony Joshua fight. The guy that he's fighting looks like one of the new Raiders. So it's pretty exciting to watch, and it seems that they really have bad blood. Now, back into fighting. Rick Ross had a show in Toronto. Rick Ross dissed Aubrey Drake Graham. Not only did he diss him, but he did it in spectacular fashion. Let's not kid ourselves. Rick Ross is still a great rapper. He can still put it together. He still popped out and showed him. Now, is Rick Ross known for the hands? Not really. But he did stand his ground. He left. I mean, it's not really in his best interest to prove that he can throw some hands when you have security guards. And to be completely fucking honest, that security guard got beat up like 4 different times just for being there, and your security sucked. Like, why did you get such a big security guard that couldn't fight and then got just beat up? Like, they sat there and just beat him up. Nobody did nothing to help him. He was like 6'10", and they just kept punching him in the shit. Like, all these little guys just like reaching up, like just punching him in the head. He couldn't do shit about it. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Rick Ross starts playing They Not Like Us. They all confront him. He gets punched in his face. He throws a drink. And then security gets him out of the gate. But they left everybody else. Security guard got beat the fuck up. Now, Tia Kemp got on the internet and did her thing. She's the greatest person on the internet right now, and I would love to do a show with Tia Kemp. I think Tia is hilarious. I love her big-ass teeth, and she's like my favorite auntie ever. And that lady is fucking great. She might not even be no auntie to me, but hey, bring that auntie ass. I think she's hilarious. And Ross, what you doing? What did you think was supposed to happen? You got a drink in your hand, a blunt or a cigar. Boy ran up on you. They calling y'all touch like, hey, yo, you cheesed me, dog. You cheesed me. And then he's like, yo, fucking creepy crumb, and then punched him. Wasn't a great punch, but it happened. The Toronto boys, they came out and they did their thing. Now, I have a friend. Well, I have a lot of friends in Florida, but I had a friend in Florida that used to tell me he didn't believe in hurricanes. Every time there was a hurricane, he would go out to the beach and he'd say, look, there's no hurricane. He'd show me like on live and go, look, they said the hurricane on the news was coming here. Ain't no hurricane here. He would do this all the time to the point where it broke my brain. He lived in Broward County, so I'm not saying he didn't live on the beach or couldn't get to the beach quick enough. I was just always like, maybe you had a different part of the beach. But damn, he never showed me a hurricane on his live. Every time there was a hurricane coming to Florida, he could never show me it. There's another hurricane that's coming to Florida. It's hurricane season. This is Hurricane Beryl. I think it's Hurricane Beryl. I'm not sure, pero creo que es Hurricane Beryl. Hurricane Beryl is doing 150 miles an hour. It's not to play with. Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Florida too. There's a lot of things that are going to get hit. I don't like to cover the bad weather because it's 135 in Las Vegas. You're getting rain. Congratulations. I'm getting cooked slowly. You remember those commercials? Set it and forget it. It's 100 degrees with no sun outside. I'm losing my mind. And allergies. I don't know why allergies are a thing when it's so much heat. So let's get into today's show. Let's get to the topics. I think we have some interesting topics. Roaring Kitty is probably one of my funnier ones. I like what he's done. I'm really impressed with that type of strategy. I think it's a really impressive strategy. But our first story here is about Klay Thompson. Now, again, earlier I said Klay Thompson has signed to the Las Vegas Mavericks. That isn't necessarily 1,000% true or untrue. The Mavericks were bought by the Adelson family or the Adelson estate. So it technically is a Vegas team because the owners of the team or a majority owner of the team is a Las Vegas resident. So Klay Thompson signed to the Las Vegas Mavericks. This was at ESPN.com because I don't know much about basketball, but I thought it was dope. Free agent guard Klay Thompson has agreed to a 3-year, $50 million contract with the Dallas Mavericks, ending his historic 13-year run with the four-time champions, the Golden State Warriors. Now, does this mean the dynasty is over and the Warriors won't do it again? Who knows? Those guys had a great run, and I couldn't even tell you if they were going to have a bad run or a good run. I don't know. I just think it's dope. This dude is coming to the Las Vegas Mavericks. Yes. So Ray J last night at the BET Awards had a night. Now, I'm not sure exactly what occurred to really prompt all these feelings, but the first video that popped up was Ray J fighting with Lemmy. Lemmy is the CEO of BET. During the kerfuffle, it seemed that something happened that really irritated Ray J, but we didn't really get a gist of what occurred. Ray J later on that evening, or this morning, I should say, got on the internet and posted something that was just like cryptic on his IG. TMZ covered it per usual. Ray J says it's all becoming too much for him to take. On the heels of nearly getting into a street brawl at the BET after party, he says he's suicidal. Ray poured out his emotions with an alarming social media post, and yeah, man, why do y'all do this shit? Always go to the internet. It was an alarming social media post in which he referenced a dispute that went on backstage at the Sunday night's BET Awards at the Peacock Theater in downtown LA. He says the ish that is happening is mind-blowing. Why? I wish I knew more. It's making me schmidle and uncomfortable, and when people post these things about being suicidal, I don't take them lightly, but I wish we knew more, and I really hope that there's people around him that have their arms around him and they're giving him love. Having a bad night's a bad night. From more information that I gathered from the story, Ray J was paid some amount of money for something that occurred, and he's not okay with it, and it's weighing heavy on his conscience, and morally, he says it's wrong. He says it's sick, it's twisted, and it's making him uncomfortable with the perception of reality. These are his words. I think that's crazy. I hope that Ray J just didn't, have a bad night, and it seems that he's just crashing out. Ray J just sold Raycon not that long ago. They had a great deal. I know he has an agency, or the Gagency, but he has a bunch of things going on. Like, Ray J doesn't seem like the type that's hurting bad. And then he told Brandy that he's going to make it right. I don't know what that means. I hope that things are well. Honestly, it doesn't bode for anyone. I don't want to see Ray J gangbanging on Lemmy. It just doesn't look good on camera. It don't. In what world did anybody think that a president should be prosecuted or this conversation should ever even be allowed? Did not anyone think that the highest position in the land deserved, immunity? Think about it. The president of the free world of the United States can be prosecuted just because somebody has a hair up their ass? That's incorrect. There's never been a time where that's a thing. We have played Wild Witch Hunt with Donald Trump now for the past 4+ years. They weren't able to put much together. You could rig the system every way you want to. But with what occurred today, one, a waste of money, taxpayer dollars, taxpayer time, and the embarrassment and the implications that you've caused on the global stage will never go away. You can't prosecute a president. Are you out of your mind? Every president would be guilty if we ever prosecuted presidents. It's not something that should ever even be talked about. Let me see if I could. Okay, even though Trump was Trump and nobody cared for Trump, he held the highest position. That position should come with immunity. It's the highest position. You can't have any higher position in the land. Why wouldn't it come with immunity? Stories at NPR. The decision likely ensures that the case against Trump won't be tried before the election, and then only if he is not reelected, they'll go to court. That's where it gets weird. So nothing's going to happen from now until election. If he gets reelected, that's it. They let it go. He's immune. If he doesn't get reelected, they keep going to court. Weird. I don't think any president should be held in any form or fashion to be sitting in court. And then not only they didn't use this to use the justice system properly, they're suing him for his business practices for what people do every single day, which is not illegal. You can fluff prices. It's literally in writing. You can do that. Again, there's nothing in the world that says I can't sell you this thing for $7 million. I don't give a fuck if it's worth a penny. I want $7 million. You give it to me, that's what I get. You can't sue me later and say, you inflated those prices. You sold that for $7 million. Somebody bought it for $7 million. That's what the true statement should be. So if Trump inflated his building prices and was able to get millions and billions of dollars from banks, wouldn't we say those banks actually paid for the bullshit? Who's in the wrong? You know we're feeding you bullshit. That's what salespeople do. What do you mean that now it's crazy. It's unprecedented because all investors, all salespeople, all people that are in negotiations do this. So you can't turn that now and make it a bad thing. Listen, as scary as Trump may be, the Democrats don't got shit. Biden looked dead up there. I wasn't even going to cover the debate. It was embarrassing. Even Trump looked embarrassed. Like he didn't even know what to do when he started mumbling and fumbling around, and you feel sad. You feel sad. You go, mira el viejito, que sad. Bendición el viejito, dale agua. Este está todo lost. Eso está scary. Nobody wants to see that. In a historic, consequential, and controversial decision on Monday, the Supreme Court granted substantially immunity from prosecution for the former President Donald Trump on election subversion charges. The decision almost certainly will delay his trial until after the November election, if it takes place at all. The vote was 6-3. Basically, if he becomes president, he's going to tell them to all kick rocks, and he makes it disappear. This should have never gone as far as it went. At this point, it's just a chicken fucking hunt. It's embarrassing. It's a witch hunt with a chicken with his head cut off. That was the right way? My bad. She's holding up a thing. Who cares? They're idiots. Keep chasing the president and try to get, I don't know. I really don't get the purpose of it. You're not hurting him. People want him now more than ever. More than ever. Seriously. Have you guys heard of Roaring Kitty? Roaring Kitty probably would have changed my life if I would have took him serious. Now, I broke the GameStop story here right when it happened. We were literally going live. It happened. I broke it. It blew up. But I didn't follow it. It wasn't really one of those things where I was going to become an investigative journalist and start following Roaring Kitty and GameStop. I just thought it was amazing what they did. What up, Loner? And I thought it was dope that a group of kids were able to come together and take advantage of the stock market. But what happened in that time period was that they stopped letting people trade. We saw the effects of what happens when micro trading becomes a thing, and then it gets regulated based on the effects of this micro trading. Trades were never meant to be this easy for everyone. When I was growing up, I begged for stuff like this. I got this shit when I was like almost 32. This wasn't the possibility. Like, you had to have like real investments. Like, I'm over there spending $400 and $500 a share and shit. And you, as a kid, you could put $10, $20 a week into a stock and make some bread. This is great. But when companies stop people from trading because it's affecting a giant conglomerate and taking money. See, what people didn't realize was that the money that they were shorting from GameStop was actually coming from teachers' pensions and other companies, because everybody's 401k is invested in businesses. So when you short a business and take their money, you may be affecting an entity that you didn't realize. And a local public school district, local small businesses, big businesses that affect many, middle and lower class families are affected by these giant sales and millions and millions of dollars transferred from one entity to another. Now, Roaring Kitty might have been a joke when it started, but the implications and the money that they made were real. And what they did a couple days ago or weeks ago seems to be causing another kerfuffle. Stories out of Reuters. Investors in GameStop have for now withdrawn their lawsuit. Excuse me. I don't know why my mouth today. And you hear me? Investors in GameStop have for now withdrawn their lawsuit against Keith Gill, who is known as Roaring Kitty, and helped spur the meme stock mania of 2021. Boy, the meme stocks were the best. They're suing him for defrauding. Well, they thought he was defrauding in the thought of a pump and dump scheme for the video game retailer. Now, they were just shorting the company, and businesses make millions of dollars betting shorts all the time. There's a whole movie based on taking the short in the real estate industry. It's a big, it's a thing. It happened. Shorts are a big deal. Shorts are not new, and I don't understand why they are still just they're salty, because they definitely got hurt. This definitely affected things in a fashion in a way that they weren't able to predict or control. A proposed class action lawsuit, Gill of Securities Frauds, was filed on Friday in Brooklyn, New York federal court, but voluntarily withdrawn on Monday without explanation. The lawsuit can be refiled, according to the filing, and the investigators, led by Martin Radev, who lives in the Las Vegas area, said Gill manipulated GameStop securities between May 13th and June 13th by quietly accumulating large quantities of the stock and calling options, then dumping some of the holdings after emerging from a 3-year social media hiatus. That wasn't that big of a deal, I don't think. Roaring Kitty started making moves. Everybody jumped on it. I mean, he did what he did again. I think a lot of people were just waiting to see if it was going to be as big or as monumental as the first time. But I don't think it really made that big of an effect. They said Gill's activities caused GameStop share prices to gyrate widely, generating millions of dollars in profit for him at their expense. That's what stocks are, especially when somebody's betting against you and they know that you're a losing stock that just keeps getting held up. It's amazing what's really occurring. If you watch all the kids that have figured these things out, these kids are going to be multi-billionaires because they've figured out the system and dipped. These kids are dope. I'm so just I'm just impressed that they didn't let the opportunity pass by them. I feel like there's a lot of generations that could have had many opportunities, but this opportunity has definitely been taken and grasped it upon by these youngins. Shout out to them. What up, Loner? What's good with you? I only got one more story. And I heard Lemmy got into a fight with Jay-Z as well. I really thought I was going to have a good show. It ain't going as good as I wanted to. So let's get into this last story. And let's see if 502 happens on Wednesday. Am I shiny? I feel shiny. So Jamie Foxx came out, and there's a video of him in a restaurant. I watched the video. He looks great. Jamie doesn't look like he's sick anymore or anything is going on, but he explained what happened. So I'll let Vibe tell it. Stories at a Vibe. A video of the actor speaking to a group at a restaurant of patrons went viral on Monday, July 1st, where Jamie Foxx claimed that it all started when someone gave him an Advil for a headache. He said, look, April 11th last year, bad headache. Asked my boyfriend Advil, and I was gone for 20 days. I don't remember anything. I'm in Atlanta. They told me my sister and my daughter took me to the first doctor. The next doctor said there's something going on up here. He did like this. He added as he talked to the crowd. He pointed out his head, but he said, I won't say what it was on camera, but it was, and then he went like this. I don't know what that means. Could you just tell us what happened and stop letting us guess? I know it's HIPAA, but I want to know. Are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Jamie? Are you okay? The shit is, when he said it, it looked like he was going to be like, cut the camera. I'm going to tell you in a second. So I just want to know, can somebody write that down? Can we just know? I hope Jamie's okay. That was the show. You should have seen what happened the first time I started the show. The sound crashed. I think that's what bummed me out first. Then I don't think I got off my first topics the way I wanted to come in. Like I saw myself doing this, but I think I did this. So I got to come back. I feel like my repetitions is definitely fucking me up. Today wasn't a good one. My name is Kasabian Lavoe. Live in the moment, don't live in the past. Be safe, stay dangerous. Lavoe loves you. I'm out.